Greetings everyone, and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage YouTube channel. It should not surprise any of you who have watched my channel in the past that I could not help myself, and I have adopted yet again one of the venerable Kenmore 158.1941 sewing machine models. I have overhauled so many of these machines, and it's interesting because I've shared with you all before some of those machines have a base, which is kind of like a little tray that it sits on underneath, that is often it'll be made out of plastic, but sometimes it's made out of aluminum like the body is. And this particular one has the aluminum. I think that was probably, I'm sure there might be a model number. Sometimes when you see a model number like 158-1941, you will sometimes see digits that come after it. And I don't know if that denotes a separate model or maybe it was a model change. Manufacturers of all sorts of items make what they call running changes. They don't necessarily change the design, but they'll make a few little tweaks here and there. Car manufacturers do this constantly. And I think that may have been what happened. At some point, someone said, hey, you're spending money on an aluminum base when you could be using plastic. And of course, they switched over to it. Now, if you have one with a plastic base, you still have a fantastic heirloom quality machine. Because remember, when we're talking about all metal machines, what we're talking about ultimately is the mechanicals. That's where you really have to have high quality steel in order to have what I consider a machine that can last for generations and beyond. So, this machine, for those of you who have not seen this before, I have a number of videos on this whole series of machines. They come from the early to mid 70s, and they basically were, as I've described them in the past, some of the last of the great all-metal, high-quality sewing machines ever made. Because after this period, the machines begin to production moves away from Japan to Taiwan, and that's not necessarily a negative, but unfortunately, right around that time, when we get to the late 70s and into the 80s, we get into the period that I call hybrid machines. And to me, a hybrid machine is a machine that has a lot of metal in it. In fact, it may even have a metal body, lots of metal parts, but they begin to start shortchanging more plastic. They start putting more plastic into areas that are under stress and mechanical. And that doesn't mean you should not take care of a hybrid machine. Some of you have hybrid machines from the 80s. My gosh, they're over 4 decades old, and some of them still sew. They were made well, but again, they are less forgiving to abuse or age in a plastic mechanical part. So I don't put them in the same class as modern, plastic machines that have mostly plastic. A lot of new sewing machines will still have metal parts. They may even have a metal frame underneath the plastic, but they have lots of gears that are made of plastic, and those gears are not forgiving. This is why a lot of the people I speak with are interested in older machines, and sometimes it might be their only machine, but a number of the clients I have, my gosh, they have multiple machines, and maybe they enjoy some of the benefits of a modern plastic sewing machine. Some of them can be quite expensive. They have lots of nice features, conveniences mostly, but so did a machine like this, only this machine is designed or was designed back in the day that not only did the initial user enjoy it, maybe their child or the next generation or two, and once they're overhauled the way I'm going to do this one, who knows how long it will last? I don't know. But I suspect the potential, if it's cared for, it can certainly last more generations. And that says an awful lot about a sewing machine made in the 1970s. Got a little sticker there. It basically shows the last time we know of that it was serviced. And it says March 23rd, 2005. Well, it's only been 18 and a half years, going on 19 years since it was serviced last. It could have been serviced since then, who knows? I mean, the sticker is not absolutely accurate anyway, but don't worry if yours doesn't have a sticker. Most of the machines I get never have any sticker. I have no idea when they were last touched, although I start to get a bit of an idea based on how the machine behaves, how it moves, where I see dust and old oil. So to basically show you all yet another one of these machines, and I like them because I believe they are the equal to Bernina's, Pfaff's, and yet they are simpler to work on, and I believe they are just as robust, and they don't have plastic gears inside like some of the Berninas do. And if you've ever overhauled a Bernina and dealt with its gear issues, you know that it can be repaired. And Berninas have a wonderful sound, an amazing stitch. But this machine was designed by the Japanese as essentially a copy, sort of a Bernina. At least they copied some of the parts of the Bernina that are wonderful, like the dual belt system, the pulley I've shown you all in other videos. But today, basically, I just wanted you to see basically a very quick example of how to get inside this machine. And I'll be doing this. I'll be, getting access to it to clean it. There's some dust bunnies here, it's totally normal. I want to move my take-up arm out of the way. So I'm going to let it come down. I don't want that to be harmed. Now, one of the things about this particular model